it was just to tell these guys, man, don't mess this up, man. Don't mess this up. And I could be a living example. Don't mess this up.
Eugene Robinson's career was marked by impressive skill on the field, but his legacy took a dark turn one fateful night. On the eve of the Super Bowl, just hours before the biggest game of his life, Robinson made a choice that would forever shadow his name. Caught soliciting a prostitute, the incident shocked the sports world and tarnished the image he worked so hard for. Robinson's story on that Miami night is a cautionary tale that's almost hard to believe. Here was a man at the peak of his career, honored with the Bart Star Award for his integrity, leadership, and character. And then, in a single night, just hours after accepting this award, he made a choice that would mark his legacy forever. Driving alone along Biscayne Boulevard, he unknowingly approached an undercover police officer and offered her $40 for oral sex. The arrest that followed sent shockwaves through the sports world, not just because of what he did, but because of who he was supposed to be. As a fan, you have to ask, how could he have thrown away all that respect and admiration in a single impulsive moment? It seemed so reckless and out of character for a man so respected. He was supposed to be the guy who inspired others, a man who held up as a role model, and that's exactly why the backlash from fans and the press was so fierce. People weren't just disappointed, they were furious. After his release from the police station, Robinson went back to the Falcons' hotel where his teammates tried to console him. But it must have been hard to look him in the eye and know the distraction he just created for their team on the biggest night of their careers. Even though Robinson played in the Super Bowl that night, the Falcons lost 34-19 to the Broncos, and it wasn't just the loss that stung. It was the sense that their shot at glory was tainted, overshadowed by one of their own making headlines for all the wrong reasons. In the years since, Robinson has owned up to his mistake, and he's made it a mission to share his story, hoping other players might avoid a similar fall. He's determined not to let that night define him or dictate his legacy, and he openly talks about how he refuses to be held hostage by that Super Bowl. He reminds people that he's a father, a husband of over 30 years, a man who's more than one reckless decision. Yet, it's a complex story. Can one night really erase all the good a person has done? Or does it simply become part of the picture, showing us the humanness and imperfections in even our biggest heroes? Robinson's story, after all these years, remains a reminder of how quickly a reputation can crumble and how hard it is to rebuild once it's cracked. Robinson had a career in the NFL that most players can only dream of. He started out playing college ball at Colgate University, and from there, he worked his way up to the big leagues. For his first 11 seasons, he played with the Seattle Seahawks, where he made a name for himself as a tough, reliable defender. Twice he was selected to the Pro Bowl in 1992 and 1993, and over the years, he became one of the best in Seahawks history, ranking second in both tackle and interceptions for the team. He really knew how to make his presence known on the field, and when it came to stopping the opponent, Robinson was ruthless. Then came a new chapter with the Green Bay Packers after the 1995 season. In his first year there, he recorded 55 tackles and led the team with an impressive 8 interceptions. Robinson was instrumental to the Packers' defense, and his skills helped the Packers win Super Bowl 31, where they defeated his home team, the New England Patriots. Imagine the thrill, not only winning a Super Bowl, but also doing it against the team from your hometown. It's the kind of story most athletes dream about. The following season, Robinson and the Packers were back in the Super Bowl, this time facing the Denver Broncos. Although the Packers didn't win that one, Robinson had some remarkable moments. With his team trailing, he made a crucial interception in the end zone off Broncos' quarterback John Elway. That play was pivotal, giving Green Bay the chance to tie the game and showing just how sharp Robinson was in clutch moments. And let's not forget his performance in the NFC title game that year against the San Francisco 49ers, where he intercepted Steve Young, setting up a touchdown that helped the Packers secure their spot in the Super Bowl. That was the kind of high-pressure game that separates good players from the great ones, and Robinson showed he had what it took. Then, after the 1997 season, Robinson moved to the Atlanta Falcons, and it was there that his story became even more dramatic. In 1998, he had a strong season with 46 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries, 4 interceptions, and even a touchdown return, earning him his 3rd career Pro Bowl selection. In the NFC Championship game against the Minnesota Vikings, Robinson made a game-saving play, breaking up a pass that could have handed the Vikings the win. That play sent the Falcons to Super Bowl 33, where Robinson would again face the Broncos, looking for redemption after the previous year's loss. But the night before that Super Bowl, Robinson made a decision that would overshadow everything he had achieved on the field. After receiving the Bart Starr Award, an honor given to players who would embody character, leadership, and integrity, he was arrested by an undercover officer for soliciting a prostitute. It was a shocking turn of events, and the timing couldn't have been worse. That night, instead of resting up for the biggest game of his life, Robinson found himself in a police station, and the next day, he took to the field with barely any sleep. The game didn't go well for him. He gave up an 80-yard touchdown pass to Broncos' receiver Rod Smith, and later missed a crucial tackle to Terrell Davis that set up another big play. The Falcons lost 34-19, and Robinson's actions off the field the night before took center stage, with fans and the press heavily criticizing him. This one decision cast a shadow over his performance, and it's a night that many remember even more than his incredible plays on the field. After that, Robinson played one more season with the Falcons before joining the Carolina Panthers, where he ended his career after the 2000 season. Reflecting on his 16 years in the NFL, Robinson put up numbers that were truly impressive. 1,415 tackles, 57 interceptions, 762 return yards, 22 fumble recoveries, and even 2 touchdowns. He had a rare talent for reading the field and making big plays. His 57 interceptions are a testament to his skill. Only 11 players have exceeded that number, and 4 of them are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's hard to look at Robinson's career and not feel a mix of admiration and sadness. He achieved so much, made plays that changed games, and yet that one night continues to define part of his legacy. He's spoken about it openly, using it as a lesson for others, and he's determined to not be held hostage by that Super Bowl incident. It's a reminder that no matter how much someone achieves, one moment can change how they're remembered. And it's also a reminder that in sports and in life, people are complicated and human. So as we look back on Robinson's journey, it's clear he had a career filled with incredible highs and some painful lows. On the field, he was a force to be reckoned with, a fierce competitor, a skilled defender, and a key player who made game-changing plays and left a lasting mark on the teams he played for. His stats and his impact speak for themselves, but his story also serves as a reminder of how a single decision can impact a legacy built over years. That one night before the Super Bowl left a shadow that he could never fully escape from, no matter how much he achieved in his career. Yet, Robinson hasn't let himself be defined solely by that mistake. He's been open about it, using his experience as a lesson for others, showing resilience by taking accountability and moving forward. His story is complex, a story of talent and success, of regret and redemption, of a man who's human, flaws and all. In the end, Robinson's journey reminds us that greatness doesn't come without challenges, and that even our heroes aren't perfect. That brings us to the end of the video. How about you subscribe if you haven't already?